Good day everyone, and welcome to the massive online open course on Introduction in MATLAB. This is a massive online open course which is designed for people who do not feel confident in programming. So if you have no idea how you can program in MATLAB, and if you need to use MATLAB for your work or your research, this is the right start. Now, today we will go over what MATLAB is and why programming in MATLAB is very enjoyable. Also, we will start to talk about different parts of MATLAB environment, and finally we will do a few simple examples. Now, MATLAB is a high performance language for technical computing. It includes computation, visualization and programming, and it has a very easy to use environment. And usually it used in math and computation and economic and signal processing. Now, if you want to talk about the history of the MATLAB started to be developed in late 1970s by Cleve Muller at the University of New Mexico. And at the very early years, it was basically used by control engineer. It is now also used in education, in mathematics, if you want to do some works in linear algebra and numerical analysis, and it's very popular to use it in image processing and signal processing. Now, the reason why people prefer MATLAB is it is very easy to program, and by the end of this smoke I am very sure that you will all agree with that. Another thing about MATLAB is it's easy to run and debug. You can easily find out what are your errors, and it can always guide you to what are the alternatives or what you should do in order to correct all these errors. I think if you ask the people who have worked and used MATLAB, I am sure that one of the things that all will say in common about the good thing about MATLAB is it has a great online and offline help. Also, because lots of people are using MATLAB, so there is huge number of programmers out there on the internet that you can always go and ask questions. However, you can always go and visit the MATLAB websites by going to the site called mathworks.com, and if you go there, you will see that there exists a place called user community. And inside there you can go to the file exchange in order to find some sample files and download it, or you can go to the news group, ask your questions or answer the questions which are available. And if you go to the file exchange, you can type and write down the files that you try to look for and find it out. Now let's talk about the windows that you will see when you open your MATLAB program. If you open your MATLAB programs, you will see with high probability a view similar to this one. So let's describe what are each of these ones so we can use it. We can see how each of them will be interpreted while you are doing your programming. The first one is the address bar. Here, if you click, you can see the address bar, and you can always change it in the way that you like. If you have entered previously several other addresses, it will keep it in its history. So you can just go down and choose the site, the place that you want to go. For instance, I am changing it to my work document, or I can go back to the folder that I had initially prepared for this mock. Now, the next one is called current folder. It tells you what you have in this folder. As you see, it's very empty in here. But if I am changing the address to another folder, you can see that in this folder I have many other files, and it shows you what are the postfix of the file, if they are JPEG or M file or FIG and so on. So if you have nothing in there, you will be able to see that it is fully empty. Now, the other one, which is very important, is something which is called command window. We will use this command window frequently in this course. It is the place which you can type your command and execute it. It is one of the most important windows that we have in MATLAB. We will get back to this window very shortly. The other windows that we need to know is called workspace. In the workspace, if you have written some program and you have created some variable, you can see which variable exists and what is its type, what is its size, and what is its value. Now assume that you have written several comments today, and then you close your program and next day you open it and you write some other things, but you want to use, you have forgotten what was the comment that you actually used the day before or in a very specific date. You can always refer to this small window that we have here, and it's called comment history. It tells you that at which day and which hour you have opened your MATLAB and how you have written the program, what are the comments that you have executed. And it can always keep the track of all the comments. Of course, if you click here, you can clear all the comment history, and then you can start from the beginning. Now, if you open your MATLAB, you may not be able to see some of these windows. For example, I can click here and I can close it, so I don't have the comment history. In order to have the comment history, you have to go to your tool strip, as you can see in here, and then you go to layout, and in the layout it tells you that what do you want to see. Now if I click on the comment history, I can see that the comment history is here. Or if you don't want to see the comment history, you can go to the layout and you can click on the comment history and it will go away. Or as I told you, you can come here and you can close it, or you can undock it so you can see it as a separate window. Now I want to dock it back so you see it as it is in here. Now in the tool strip we have several other options which you can always click and see, like help and what help does. One of the things that you might use is called preferences. If you click on the preferences, what I already have done is I come here and I see that there exists so many options that I can change. For instance, I can go to the fonts and I can change the font. Right now I have chosen the font to be of the size 15, so when I am typing it will be much bigger on the screen and I can see it easier. Now let's do some examples. Now these examples we can start by writing, for instance, x is equal to 25, and I press enter. Now when you write something on the command window, it is executed as soon as you press enter. So right now x is equal to 25 and it shows you that x is 25, and when I come to the workspace it tells me that what is the variable x and what are the values, and it also shows the minimum and the maximum value that I have inside x, because everything in MATLAB is saved as a matrix, although we have only one single variable which is a matrix of 1 by 1. But so when we have only one value, the minimum maximum is the same. Now another thing that I want to do is this: y is equal to 7, but this time I want to put a semicolon. I put a semicolon and I press enter. I do not see what is the value of y, but if we go to the workspace we see that y has been created and the value of 7 has been assigned to that one. Now semicolon in MATLAB has several applications. One of them, if you put a semicolon at the end of a comment, it means you are turning off the echo. When I write x is equal to 25 and I press enter, it writes down x is 25, and we call it the echo is on, so it shows you what is inside the variable, what have you executed. But if you put semicolon, you switch off that echo. So sometimes you don't want to see what is inside a variable line by line, so we have to use the semicolon. Unlike some programs like C or Java, you do not need to put semicolon. So semicolon is not a syntax. It simply makes an echo on or off. Now, one of the good things about MATLAB, which makes it different from other languages, is it's very dynamic. Look, we have created x is 25 and y is 7. Right now I can change y into, let's say, a name. I can put A, B, C, D, and I can press enter, so the echo is on, and you can see the Y is A, B, C, D, and it is an array of characters. Or I will write Y is 3.14, and now Y has been changed into a float number 3.14, and by default it shows 4 digits after the decimal point. So it means that you can instantly create a variable of any type, and you can easily switch between the types. And this is simply amazing, because you don't need to know which variables of which type you want in advance before you start to write your program. You can create a variable instantly. Now let's have our x to be 25 as it was, and y to be 7 as we decided from the beginning. Now you can define a variable z, and you can say that z is x plus y, and then you put semicolon. Now z has been created. In order to see what is the value of z, you can write z and press enter, or you can go on the workspace and see what is the value of z, or while you are writing z is equal to x plus y, if you just delete the semicolon, the echo is on, so it directly also shows you the value. We can have, let's say w is x minus y. We can have q is x divided by y. Or we can have, let's say, t is x multiplied by y. So similar to any other computer languages, we have addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication defined by the typical symbols that we knew from the beginning. Now, like many other computer languages, parentheses are also very important. Assume that we have a to be 3, b to be 4, c to be 5. And I define them all in one line. So I have now, as you can see, A, B, and C, 3, 4, and 5. Now what I want to do, I want to make an expression which is A, let's write it down, let's say Z is A minus B, or let's put it A plus B minus multiplied by C. Now we know that multiplication always has a higher priority, so it means that C will be multiplied by B and then will be added by A. However, assume you want to do A plus B first, and then the result multiplied by C. In such a case, we have to come and put A plus B within a parenthesis, which I do, and then we press the enter, and this time A will be plus by B, which means 7, multiplied by C, which is 35. So parentheses are very important, and they play a very important role. Whatever happens in the parentheses have the higher priority than the things that we have other than these parentheses. Now, when I have using the word A, B, C, I don't know, X, Y, W, Z as the name of the variables, you have to be careful that the variable name cannot stand with a number. For instance, we cannot have 2 k is equal to 3. If you do it, we will get an error. So you cannot start the name of a variable with number or special characters. However, I can have k2 to be 3, and it is acceptable. k2 together is a variable name, and its value is 3. Now, as you can see, I have many things inside my command window, and I want to clear this one. I don't want to see them. So I can use the command CLC. It is clear my screen. But assume I don't want to see also this variable. I want everything to be clear. So what I can do, I can use the clear all command. If I use clear all, it will clear all my variables. As you can see, no variable has been created in here. So I can write x is equal to 2.5, y is equal to, let's say, -8, and z is equal to 3. Now, x, y, and z have been created. Now, what I can do is I can only clear one variable. So I can write clear y. And as you can see, I don't have y anymore. Assume I have done the CLC and somehow you don't have access to the workspace and you want to know which variables we have. What we do, we use a command which is called whos, and if you press enter, it tells you the name of the variables which we have and are defined. It tells you what is their size, the number of bytes that each of them use in order to save it, and the class, the type of these variables. Okay, this is the end of the first lecture, and on the next lecture we will talk more about how you can define the variables, how you can define the matrix, how you can define a vector, and then we will continue by talking about how you can manipulate these ones. I hope you enjoyed the first lecture. Be seeing you in the next lecture.